So they have a physical server with these specifications, and they have installed, let's say, Windows Server 2016. Windows Server 2016, and let's say all the 10 applications, if they install in one machine itself. Okay, we'll see what will happen. Let's say all the 10 applications they have installed in one machine itself. If there is any problem on this physical server computer, this operating system will shut down. Once this operating system is shut down, all the 10 applications will be shut down. They will not work. Something like if you are inside a hotel, everything is blocked now. Let's say power outage is there. There is no other way to communicate outside except you forget about your personal devices. So there is the telephone which you are using inside your room is not working. You are not able to contact to the uh, reception. Okay? And there is no tab to order food. Nothing. Whatever the fans, lights, nothing is working. You are completely blocked inside. You are not able to come out because you are trying to swipe that card and it is not working because there is no power supply. You will not be able to come out. You will not be able to communicate anything. Okay? Because all the applications which are providing there are completely stopped working. Okay. What about if you don't have mobile at that moment? You will be locked inside until they completely restore it back. Let's say this computer motherboard is crashed. It will take 1 day to fix it. So until 1 day you will be locked inside. You will not have any food, nothing. Okay, completely black. So that when you go next time to the same city, will you book that same hotel again? That's why this company will lose business. Either you directly and you write negative feedback because of that, other people will not prefer. You don't recommend your friends to go to that hotel when they are going. So directly there will be huge loss for this organization, for that company. Okay. So like that, it's a bad because of this small bad design, keeping all the 10 applications on one machine itself. Okay. And let's say what if this situation is like this? We have installed only one application here. Okay. And if you want to install 10 applications, we need to buy 10 physical servers like this. Okay. 10 different physical servers we need to buy. So because one machine we will install one application only. If we install such a way, if there is any hardware problem, let's say if there is any problem on this computer either here or here, if there is any problem here, only one application will be impacted. Something like only Wi-Fi is not working, but there are many other ways to communicate outside. Okay, sorry, like that. So whatever the application that is installed, that only will be impacted here. Okay. But the problem is here underutilized. You have 100 GB RAM, you spend some around 4 lakhs to buy this computer. When you are running one application on this computer, its usage will be around 35 to 40% only. It's not my value, it's a industry average value. You will be using 30 to 40% of that compute power only. That means in school days we might have learned computer can do like this many calculations within a second. But are we giving that many instructions to do that work on that computer? Basically. So if you see even my computer, this one, let's say I spent some 60,000 for this computer, and if I see my performance of this computer, CPU memory utilization is up to 50% because something else also running inside backend. Okay. Memory utilization it will be 10 to 20% only because I have other applications also started. Or maybe my reboot in 3 days. Okay, this machine is showing at least 50% utilization. So basically the industry average is 35% to 40%. So that means you spend so much money and you are using only 35 to 40% of the resources. That means remaining 65% resources you're wasting, or you can say simply ideally. Okay, they are idle, they are not working that much. That's called underutilization. We are not efficiently using the computer. But when your demand is increased, let's say you want to install one more application, So if you have multiple applications to install, we have to install on multiple machines. Sometimes when you try to install two applications, so these both applications will try to access same data from the operating system, same file from the operating system, and it may conflict. So while installation itself, we will not be able to install. So that's another reason we don't install multiple applications on the same machine. Okay, one for server, we have to install one application only. Any application.
They are giving some access on the call also.
That is the different part. As of now, we are thinking about like installation only. Access part will be later. Okay, so one physical server with one server operating system and one applications. One application. Okay, so like when we want to install multiple applications, we have to buy one more computer. So we have already spent so much money and we purchase this machine and install one application and its usage is this much and we are wasting this much of resources. Still we are spending money again. Okay, so let's say some 3 lakhs we have paid again and around 40% we are using. Okay, so already we spent so much money and we are not utilizing that machine itself properly, not even 50%, but we are spending again. When your demand is increased, your investment is also increasing. When your demand is increased, your investment also is increasing. Okay, like this. So forget about the profit. Like when you have some applications like this, you are doing a lot of business and let's say whatever the profit that maybe you are earning, forget about the profit. So when you think about the infrastructure in a sense like the applications, the server computers, operating system, everything. So when your demand is increased, your investment is also increasing. And but you are wasting lot of compute power here. Not only that compute power, we will identify all the drawbacks. Okay, in this system. So if you want to install 10 applications, 10 computers we have purchased. Let's say if their business is growing, if they want to install one more application, we need to spend more money and buy computer again. Okay, so this used to be like this, the traditional IT infrastructure. Traditional infrastructure, it used to be like this. Okay, so every organization, whatever it may be, software, hardware, engineering, manufacturer, IT, portals, whatever it is, pharmaceutical, every organization until the year 2000, it used to be like this. Okay, and around 95 and before days only, they have started a company and they were started identifying the drawbacks in this system. So if until the year 2000, people used to run their business on this traditional infrastructure like this. So every application they need to install on a separate computer. And with this system, there are a lot of drawbacks were identified. One is underutilization. Okay, so that means we paid so much money, and but we are using 30 to 35% of resources only. Remaining 60% sitting idle. We are not utilizing them efficiently. So that's underutilization. Second thing, space. So if you have 10 computers, how much space you need to place them? Okay, if you have 100 computers, if you have 1000 computers, how much space? In India, the real estate, the lease system and all very cheap because we have a lot of space. But outside India, every square feet that you occupy will be charged. That's why when you place more servers, you will be ending up in paying more money towards your data center. To place the servers in a separate building, it's called data center. Okay, and now hardware maintenance. When you have more hardware, more failure chances will be there. In our lab itself, we have at least 20 devices. Monthly, one of the hardware component will be failing. Some RAM, processor, fan, keyboard, something will be failing. Every month, I will go to the market and buy a similar product and get it and replace with the faulty one. If there are 20 devices itself, it's like that. If there are, what if there are like 100 or 1000? Maybe every day there will be some maintenance. Okay. If your motherboard is crashed, again that complete application will be down for that day. Okay. Until you go and get a new hardware, it will not be fixed. Okay. And power supply. Power consumption. Okay. So the direct power supply, at least as I said, like we have 20 devices. A monthly there will be 4000 to 5000 power bill. If there are more number of devices, bill also will directly increase. And also it need cooling power. These computers will be 24/7, they will be powered on and running. So they will generate more heat in that CPU. Okay, the processor will be always running. So processor will generate more heat. To cool that, there should be proper air condition in that building. Okay. So then you need more power to make it always 5 degrees centigrade or 10 degrees, whatever it is that you are maintaining. Okay. So you will be ending up in paying more directly towards the power consumption bill. Okay, like this. And fifth, administrators. Okay, if there are 10 servers, at least 3 members are needed to take care at least 24/7. Okay, if there are 100, 6 to 7 members. If there are 1000, 15 to 20 members team. So that's the drawbacks they were identified when you are using huge number of hardware. Even though you are earning enough profit out of it, so if your infrastructure is like this, traditional infrastructure, these are the drawbacks in every organization. Irrespective of their business nature, if they are running their business applications, it will be like this. Okay, these are all the drawbacks. Basically, these are related to the investment in your data center. Investment to buy these computers, to maintain all these things. Okay. Okay. To reduce these drawbacks and directly reduce the investment on your infrastructure needs, 3 people started a company called VMware. 3 guys formed a company called VMware and they analyzed these drawbacks. Why are everyone wasting so much of compute power? 30%, 40% are utilized, 60% are sitting idle, are wasting. Okay, 60% of resources are wasted. It's not fair, but you are paying more and more money buying more computers. It's not fair, right? So they thought in that way, and they wanted to develop some solution for this. It's not only one company or one country problem. It's around worldwide. All the companies, irrespective of their business nature, facing these things. They are making enough profit out of it. That's fine. But these are all the drawbacks. Let's find some solution to overcome these drawbacks. Okay. So they have researched in that area and developed an operating system. Okay. Earlier, there were operating systems like Microsoft Windows series. It's completely GUI, mouse based work you can do, and Unix family, multiple Linux operating systems were there. In the operating systems category, these were already available in the market before these guys comes into the picture. These guys formed a company called VMware and developed a new operating system. VMware company they have started and they have developed one new operating system. We will see what is the name, how it works. Okay, they wanted to provide some solution for these drawbacks for all the organizations, so they have developed one operating system. Now we'll see how this new operating system will work and will overcome those drawbacks. Buy a physical computer, the same like however you buy a physical computer here, physical server here, buy a physical server. Let's say 100 GB RAM you have, Xeon processor, let's say 1 terabyte hard disk. You have a computer with these specifications. And in the traditional infrastructure until today, before VMware days, if you want to run your business on this computer, you have to install either Windows or Linux, right? That's the only 2 options we had, Microsoft or Linux. Now instead of using Microsoft Windows or Linux based operating system here, install the newly developed operating system. New operating system developed by VMware. So you install this operating system here. Fine, installed. We are the administrator who will be installing. Once you install, we can create folders here. Folder in the sense like right click, new folder. I will store some of my personal content here. On this Windows operating system also I can create a folder and I will store some of my personal content, data. The same way you can create a folder here. Here also we can create a folder. In Windows machine, if you create a folder, we can place our personal data, resume, project work, whatever it is. The files you can store inside the folder. But here, this operating system allows us to share this RAM, CPU, hard disk from here to here. That means out of 100 GB RAM, we can assign some 2 GB RAM, let's say, so 10 GB RAM to this folder and 4 CPU and C:50 GB. We can assign to this folder. RAM, CPU, hard disk, we can split from here and share it to the folder which we have created on top of it. Here also in the Windows or Linux operating system also we can create a folder, but it was not possible to assign some memory from here to here because that architecture was not like that. This Windows operating system will allow us to create a folder, but it will not allow us to share the memory from here to here. That was designed in such a way. And these guys were developed in such a way that we can share memory, CPU, hard disk from here, physical computer, to this folder. It is a folder only we can see on the screen. Okay, it's a folder. I want to physically access, I can't access it with my hand directly, right? So only on the screen. With mouse I need to interact. The same way here also, this is a folder, but we can assign RAM, CPU, hard disk from here to here. So out of 100 GB RAM, how much we have allocated? 10. So still we have 90 GB left with us on the physical computer. The same way RAM, CPU, hard disk also. So out of 1000 GB we have given 50 hard disk. Okay. So 950 GB still available with us. And CPU we'll see later how it will split. CPU it will be basically one processor only, but how can we assign 4 processors here? So there is a logic behind CPU splitting. We will discuss later about the CPU. As of now, remember, RAM and hard disk will be directly minus. The quantity that we have allocated here will be directly minus. There is no complex calculation. It's just plain minus. 100 minus 10. That's it. Okay. Now, this folder has RAM, CPU, hard disk. Same as like another computer. Okay. Now this folder is exactly equivalent to a physical computer with 10 GB RAM and whatever the CPU hard disk that we have allocated. It is equivalent to a physical computer now. However, a physical computer has RAM, CPU, hard disk to function properly. This folder also has. Now this is equivalent to a physical server computer or physical computer with 10 GB RAM. Okay. And this is called virtual computer. Computer, but physically we cannot access. Only on the screen we can access. Okay. Machine, but it is virtual. It's named as VM, virtual machine. Okay. VM. And now on top of it, if you want to work with this is equivalent to a physical computer. If you want to work with it, you need to install Windows or Linux. Anything you can. Whichever you want, you can install. Then install one application here. Because one server we will install one application only, right? Okay, so one computer we have installed with Windows operating system and then one application is installed here. Now we have still 90 GB RAM is there. Okay, we can create one more folder like this. Assign some 4 GB RAM. Whatever the capacity that you need, you can assign. 2 CPUs, C:40 GB hard disk. Okay, another folder like this we have created here. Install whatever the operating system that you want, Windows, and then business application here again, second application. Okay, like that you can install some whatever the amount of memory you have. Like that you can create multiple folders like this, and each folder is called Yeah, each folder will be running with one operating system and one application also. That is called virtual machine, but it is virtual. Physically it is not available. Physically you can access this machine. You can go physically in our lab, you can just interact with it. Power on, power off, open CD, whatever it is, physical task you can. But this is a virtual computer. But exactly equivalent to a physical computer. And your business applications will be installed here. Let's say some 5 applications are installed here. We have created 5 virtual machines and 5 applications are installed on top of one physical computer. So based on usage, your available your utilization also will increase. ఇంకొక ఫోల్డర్ క్రియేట్ చేసామనుకో, ఆన్ చేసి పవర్ ఆన్ చేస్తే ఇక్కడ ఉన్న రిసోర్సెస్ ఇంకా ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, యుటిలైజేషన్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. That means like let's say you have created 5 computers and an average overall you allocated 80 GB RAM. If you power on all these 5 computers, 80 GB RAM will be utilized. That means on an average 80%. Out of 100 GB, 80 GB you are utilizing, right? That means 80% of resources are consumed here. On one physical computer, we have created 5 virtual computers and 5 business applications are running on top of each machine. Each machine is installed with one application. So 5 applications are running on 5 virtual computers. Understood? And the performance of this computer is exactly equivalent to a physical computer, not above or not below. I'm not saying this will give more performance. It gives exactly same performance as any other computer with 10 GB, a physical computer with 10 GB memory. Okay, but it is allowing us to split the resources from the underlying physical computer to the virtual computers. Now the same 10 applications if you want to install. Okay, now we have purchased one computer, buy operating system from VMware company, install it here. We have installed 5 applications here. So now buy one more computer. We have to install 5 more applications, right? 5 applications are only installed. Buy one more server computer and you install it here. Okay, something like this. Now here 5 applications and here 5 applications. Total 10 applications are running, but we are using only 2 physical computers. Here in the traditional infrastructure, how many we need? 10 physical servers, because 10 applications we want to install. Here on one machine we have installed 5 applications and another machine with 5 applications. Just 2 computers are enough. Okay, 10 computer versus 2 computers. If you have more memory, all 10 computers you can install here itself. There is no limit. Just 5. I'm saying 5 is just for example. You can create up to 1024 virtual computers on top of one physical computer maximum. As per VMware operating system will support us to install 1024 virtual computers. As of now, like all the 10 applications are installed on just 2 physical computers and utilization is up to 80%. We should not use 100% again. 100% if you continuously use, there may be a chance that this hardware may fail very soon. Okay, that's why we're targeting 80%. 80% of the resources are utilized here on this computer. So underutilization problem is overcome now. We are utilizing efficiently. Whatever you paid, you are efficiently using. Then space. Space for 10 computers versus space for 2 computers. Definitely less. Hardware maintenance. Hardware failure chances on 10 computers versus hardware failure chances on 2 computers, because there are 2 hardware physical computers, right? These 2 only has physical hardware. Okay, so obviously less. Power consumption. Power bill for 10 computers, power bill for 2 computers. Okay, and administrators. One guy is more than enough. Here at least 3 guys we needed. If it is small, at least there will be no difference. When there is more than 100, then definitely you will see the difference. Number of administrators to take care of them. Okay, so with this solution, if you run your business on this new infrastructure, new product like this, compared to traditional days, we are able to overcome all these problems. By overcoming all these problems, what we are saving is directly on an average. VMware standard was, VMware proven value was 10:1 range. You save your investments. That means in the traditional days, if you spend 10 rupees and let's say you earn 100 rupees as profit, now with this new VMware new operating system, newly developed operating system from VMware, if you use and by overcoming those problems, you can still achieve the same profit with the investment of 1 rupee. On average, I'm saying, like when you invest more, there will be huge difference. VMware preferred value, minimum to minimum, they say. There are people who saves 100:1 also. Okay. There people are saving 100:1 also, but minimum to minimum, VMware consider value on an average is 10:1 range. You reduce your investments on your IT infrastructure. Whatever may the business applications that you run, whatever may be your business nature, whatever kind of business that you are doing, instead of using traditional infrastructure, buy this new operating system from VMware and you run your business applications on top of virtual computers instead of physical computers. Okay, you save your investments in this way, 10:1 range. Will you say okay or not? And not just explained as a theoretical, it is proven. Okay, by running this infrastructure, this new operating system, it is proven. So will you accept or not? So definitely that's what happening in the market. So any organization, if they are starting, they start with this new product. And they came into the market first in 1998, they released their first version. Okay, but in the year between, in the time range of 2000, 2003, okay, it got so much popularity across worldwide. Many people started coming to know that about this VMware product. If you use this product, we can. Sorry.
So actually, we have one single server.
Okay.
We have to create so many VM missions, no?
Correct.
There is any limited for that?
Yes, that's what I said. 1024 you can create, but you should have that much amount of memory and CPU. On one physical server with new VMware new OS, we can create 1024 virtual machines on one physical box, one physical server.
Okay.
If you want to create 1024 virtual machines, let's say if you assign 1 GB RAM to one machine, minimum to minimum, that means you need to have 1 terabyte RAM on the physical computer. If you have this much RAM, you can create up to this many. I'll give this this numbers and all later, like how many you can create.
There is any chance to hang up, sir?
Sorry, no. That's what I'm coming to say. It was not just explained; it was proven. There is no performance outage because this works exactly like another physical computer, and also this product is very stable now, 99% bug free. There is no chances of hung, nothing like that.
It's like a load distributor equally.
We are not distributing,
Okay.
right? We are just utilizing our resources efficiently. Distributing in the sense like the load should be shared across, right? But we are not doing that.
Okay. Okay.
Fine, understood what they have developed and how it helps the customers to run their business. Okay. And even if you see advanced technologies, everything that run beyond this one only, even if you see cloud computing, these virtual computers which are built on this operating system, they only will be presented on a web page. Okay, these virtual computers are only presented on a single web page and they will call it as a cloud computing. Without this technology, there will be no cloud. Cloud is just to manage these virtual computers on one web page. That's it. They have a separate product to manage these virtual computers on one web page. Instead of manually on separate computers, all together we can see on one web page and there is no visibility to this hardware. Okay. And we'll see the differences, the what is cloud computing and which one to choose. Instead of learning directly this product, why can't I learn like cloud and all? We'll see the differences later. Okay, so obviously it was a proven in the market. People were happy who were using this product from this compared to the traditional infrastructure. If they move to this new product, people are happy to run their business and they are saving a lot. Instead of spending a lot here on the traditional infrastructure, they were saving a lot money by running while using this product. With those feedbacks
Sir,
and
uh, sir, is there any name for the OS?
yes,
Like
definitely
VMware has
there is a name.
developed the.
There is a name.
Okay.
I'll come to that point now.
Okay. Thank you.
Fine. Now we understood what is a virtual computer, right? Okay. So that's with that concept, like many people started liking this product, and these guys have come up with the very first in the market, and the product is also very stable now, 99% bug free. Okay. So that's why even though there are many competitors for this product, competitor products are not doing good. The VMware product only is doing very good. It's not because I'm working or I'm saying like this. It's industry proven product. Okay, so we'll go to some other examples. Then you will come to know about the competitors, what they are doing, what VMware is doing. Okay, so fine. So the new operating system which was developed by VMware is called ESX, Elastic SkyX. Okay, this operating system they named it as ESX, Elastic SkyX. It's a stretchable, elastic in the sense stretchable. If you power on more VMs, resource utilization will increase. 40% usage lo undadi 60%, 80% it will increase because if you power on the VM only. If you power off, again utilization will reduce. So if you assign 10 GB, that doesn't mean 10 GB is always allocated for this machine. If you power on, then only it will use that 10 GB. If you power off, it will not use that memory. Again, we will see total free memory only. If you power on only, these virtual computers will use that much amount of memory and CPU from the underlying physical computer. If you power off again, it will give back to the physical computer. It will free up again. Okay. And that's why when you increase more, when you power on more virtual computers, the utilization will increase. When you power off the virtual machines, it will decrease. It's a stretchable. You can create more VMs up to 1024. If you delete, again it will decrease. So that's why it's a stretchable and called elastic, and sky is unlimited. They just said there is no specific meaning for X. They just named it as elastic sky. So it's called ESX server. The physical server we install with ESX server operating system, and together it's called ESX server. OS with physical server. Okay, and it is called host as well. Okay, it's basically a physical server plus ESX operating system ESX server, or this is called host as well. Or few people will call ESX host, whatever it is. Okay, it all refers to the same. So why we call host here? Something like if your relatives comes to your home, you will be providing services to them. They will become guest and you will become host there. Basically the same concept here. This machine is providing services, memory, CPU, hard disk services to these computers. This is called guest computer. This is host computer. Okay, host and guest. But even though we call it as guest, as an administrator, we call it as VM. Together, the virtual computer with Windows operating system and application together, we call it as VM only. But the operating system we are installing, right, Windows or Linux inside this virtual computer is called guest OS. As an administrator, daily usage, we use host. Host means physical server with ESX OS. Then VM, it's a virtual computer. And guest OS, the OS inside a VM. Understood? Application, basically the application which is installed on virtual computer. Host is, this is a physical server with an ESX OS installed in it. Fine. On a day-to-day daily basis, VMware administrator refers to host. Host means physical computer with ESX OS installed on it. Or sometimes we call ESX host or host, both refers to the same. VM, the virtual computer. The OS inside VM is called guest OS. VM also is called guest VM, guest machine, but we don't call it as guest VM. We call it as VM only. Now we understood host, virtual machine, and guest OS. Right? Any questions as of now here?
Sir, actually we have different VMs now.
Sorry?
Actually we have different VMs we have to develop now. So, hello.
Yes, please proceed.
Sir, we have Linux, Windows. Only we have to install only Windows or Linux.
Either way, you don't need to decide about that, what operating system needs to be installed. The application team who are going to use these machines will give us the information like what is the name of the VM it's supposed to be. Let's say VM45. They will give us what OS they need to install. Windows Server 2016, RAM, let's say 4 GB, CPU, let's say 2 CPUs, and hard disk they will give. I need 50 GB hard disk. Sometimes network also they will give. Otherwise, it's okay. We will provide. They will the application team, application owner who wants a virtual machine to install an application should come up with this information to us. ఈ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ వాళ్ళు ఇస్తారు మనకి. ఈ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్తో మనం VMని బిల్డ్ చేయాలి. You don't need to decide whether it is Windows or Linux. They will inform us.
Okay, thank you.
If we created VMs, different VMs, if we are running out that storage space, what we
Running on store.
traffic too much high.
Okay.
Storage running out of that.
Okay.
What do we do?
Storage means where you are referring, here or here?
Hard disk.
Either 50 GB. We can increase. Let's say inside this machine you already copied a lot of data and we have a 50 GB hard disk. It's almost like 49 GB is utilized. When the VM is running itself, we can increase its disk space 50 to 100 or 60, whatever it is. If you feel that you need 100 GB, we can increase. When the VM is running itself, we can increase to 100 GB. That's what your question is. So we can increase not only hard disk, RAM also, RAM, CPU also. Let's say for 10 GB RAM is not enough. Continuously from last 3-4 days, 10 GB RAM is not enough because you are putting more load on this virtual computer with the applications. Okay, so 10 GB RAM is not enough. Then the person who is using this machine will inform you, hey, my virtual machine is running very slow. Can you look at this problem now? When you look at, we'll see like how to analyze that data. So when you look at this machine, 10 GB RAM is not enough. From last 3-4 days, it is continuously using. We will ask them, is there any changes from last 3-4 days? He will say like, yeah, usage is more. Then 10 GB RAM is not enough. You need to add more memory. Then he will say, okay, add more memory. Then we will add more. When the computer is running itself, we can add more memory, CPU, hard disk, without stopping the application. But if you want to increase memory on a physical computer, you have to stop the application safely, shut down the machine, buy new hardware, open the physical computer, insert the extra RAM, then power on back. So that means for your planned maintenance work, you need to stop your business. Here you don't need to stop. Those are all the advantages of using these virtual computers. That's why many people are moving to this tech, not moving, like already moved a lot and starting, they are coming to this technology now. Okay, there are many benefits like that. Okay, we will discuss those benefits later. Instead of using not only this investment reduction, a lot of benefits also. Once you set up your business, if you want to do any planned maintenance work or unplanned outages and all, this products is better than this one. Okay.
Any drawbacks in VMware?
There are no drawbacks as of now, but for small companies there are, yes. So that means these physical computers we cannot place wherever, like even if it is in small buildings and all, we cannot put. We need to put it in a separate building, data center. It's called data center. Okay, so the buildings which are built in a military grade security features, it will not be visible at all. Even if you see somewhere on the top, it will be normal plain land. Inside the ground, there will be data centers. Okay, so kind of thing. So the data sensors are built with the military grade security options. And if you, let's say if you are running only 10 computers, that means let's say 10 physical servers, you need to spend a lot of money here. Let's say after 2 years the hardware will be outdated, you need to buy hardware again, and you need to buy license from VMware, you need to buy from license from Windows virtual machines now. Okay, so you have to maintain your own risk. We'll see like those things and all will, when we are discussing about cloud versus this VMware product, we will come to know those benefits and differences. You have to maintain your own data center risk. Every 2 years you need to renew your license, maintain hardware lifecycle, software lifecycle, all these things and all you have to do manually. If you move to cloud, but small companies, okay, very small organizations, it will be more burden. Every 2 years they need to spend more money, but they are not making that much money. Okay, very small companies. If they move to cloud, they will get a lot of benefits. Then you need to worry about all these things. Just pay monthly whatever the invoice they sent by cloud companies and just start using them. You don't need to worry about the underlying hardware is outdated, license is outdated. You don't need to maintain any separate teams, nothing like that. For small, very small companies, there are drawbacks. For enterprise level companies, there are no major drawbacks. So the drawbacks or advantages we get only when we compare to the technology previously it was using or the technology we are using, which is developed beyond that. Okay, it is middle before traditional days and with the current cloud days, it's a middle technology. Always there will be advantages when you compare with traditional technologies. There will be minor, or as of now, minor differences when you compare with cloud computing, but for small companies only, not for the major company, enterprise level companies. Medium to enterprise level companies, if they move to cloud, they will be spending more. That is also a disadvantage for them. Okay, it depends, always depends. We will see those differences between cloud versus VMware when when we have enough information to understand cloud better. I mean, after 3 to 4 classes from now, we will discuss the differences. Any other questions?
Valid question. VMware actually.
It's not like separate. This is a single product to hack. So hacking is always happens over network. ఇది మనం సర్వర్ లైన్ చూద్దాం. జస్ట్ నో ఇట్స్ దీంట్లో పార్ట్ అని కాదు, ఇది సంథింగ్ లైక్ ఇక్కడ చూద్దాం. బేసిక్ గా ఐడియా వస్తుంది. ఇట్స్ పాసిబుల్, బట్ VMware ఏంటంటే అదే చెప్పారు వాళ్ళు 99% స్టేబుల్ అని. దే విల్ టేక్ కేర్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ దోస్ సెక్యూరిటీ మెకానిజమ్స్. ఇది ఆ హ్యాకింగ్ చేయకుండా ఉండడానికి యూజ్ చేసే ప్రోడక్ట్ కాదు. హ్యాకర్స్ ఆల్వేస్ ఎప్పుడైనా వస్తుంటారు, బట్ థింగ్ ఈస్ విల్ సీ హియర్. This is a physical server. This is running with Windows Server OS and some application. This is physical server. We're installing ESX OS and VMs we create on top of it here. Question directly exactly related kaadu, but fine. Good question, we'll see here. బట్ మనం ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్ ఇంటెన్షనే అది కాదనమాట హ్యాకింగ్ అనేది. ఇప్పుడు డైరెక్ట్గా ఆన్సర్ చెప్పాలంటే పాసిబుల్. ఇప్పుడు హ్యాకర్స్ డైరెక్ట్గా ఇంటర్నెట్ ద్వారా ఇక్కడ సెక్యూరిటీ మెకానిజం ఉంటుంది, ఫైర్ వాల్ అని. సో ఈ ఫైర్ వాల్ క్రాస్ చేసి అన్ఆథరైజ్ యూజర్స్ వచ్చి మన అప్లికేషన్లో ఉన్న డేటాను తీసుకొని వెళ్తారు, లేదా అప్లికేషన్ ఇక్కడ లాక్ చేస్తారు. అన్లాక్ చేయాలంటే మనీ పే చేయాలంటే వీళ్ళు కీ పెట్టి అన్లాక్, సంథింగ్ లైక్ ర్యాన్సమ్ వేర్. లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ మనం ఎక్కువ వింటాం ర్యాన్సమ్ వేర్ అని. ఈవెన్ కంప్యూటర్స్ గురించి తెలియని వాళ్ళు కూడా అంత హ్యూజ్ లెవెల్లో ఇంపాక్ట్ చేస్తారు వరల్డ్ వైడ్ వాళ్ళు. సో ఎవ్రీ నెట్వర్క్లోకి వెళ్ళి ఇక్కడ ఉన్న కంప్యూటర్స్ని లాక్ చేసి పెట్టేశారు, అప్లికేషన్ యాక్సెస్ చేయలేకుండా. అన్లాక్ చేయాలంటే ఎవరి వల్ల కావట్లేదు, వాళ్ళు కీ ఇస్తే తప్ప అన్లాక్ అవ్వదు, వాళ్ళు కీ ఇవ్వాలంటే మనీ పే చేయాలి. సో దట్స్ వాట్ దిస్ ఇట్. Okay, it happened with physical servers like this traditional infrastructure also, it happened with VMware servers also, it happened with cloud computers also. Everywhere it happens, but the mechanisms, this is built in such, it's the product intention is not for this thing. ఇలాంటివి అవాయిడ్ చేయడానికి, హ్యాకర్స్ని అవాయిడ్ చేయడానికి వేరే వేరే ప్రోడక్ట్లు ఉన్నాయి. VMware వాళ్ళు కూడా ఇంకొక ప్రోడక్ట్ ఉంది, NSX అని, నెట్వర్క్ వర్చువలైజేషన్ ప్రోడక్ట్. And inside that product there is a feature called micro segmentation. ఓకే, ఇది చేస్తే అసలు హ్యాకర్స్ మన నెట్వర్క్లోకి వచ్చినా కూడా ఏదో లెట్స్ సే యాజ్ ఆఫ్ నౌ లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ ఏం జరిగిందంటే ఇలా వచ్చారనుకోండి, ఒక VM నెట్వర్క్కి యాక్సెస్ వచ్చిందంటే ఇంకా ఆ నెట్వర్క్లో ఉన్న అన్ని వర్చువల్ కంప్యూటర్స్ని కనెక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు వాళ్ళు. అలా ఉండేది. ఈ VMware వాళ్ళది ఇంకొక ప్రోడక్ట్ ఉంది, మీరు అడిగిన రీజన్కి ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్ని ఆ ఇంటెన్షన్తో డెవలప్ చేశారు. And along with this ESX OS, we have to use NSX OS also. If you use like this, every VM's network will be separate box. If they want to enter into one, at least if they gain access to one virtual computer, they cannot access another virtual computer. Micro segmentation, spreaded into small box with a secure features. At least for some reason, if they get access to one VM, another computer will not. It's not possible. Can you put on without this product? It's possible again. And hacking, another to answer your question directly, yes, but we have to understand lot other features here, lot other products also to avoid them. Okay. మీరు అడిగిన క్వశ్చన్ మర్చిపోయారా? క్లియర్ కదా? ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్ ఇంటెన్షన్ వేరే. సో హ్యాకింగ్ అవాయిడ్ చేయడానికి అలానే కాదు. సో ట్రెడిషనల్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ కంటే ఇందాక చూసాం కదా డ్రాబ్యాక్స్, నీవు ఓవర్కమ్ చేయడానికి సెక్యూరిటీ కోసం అది ఆల్వేస్ వేరే ప్రొడక్ట్స్ యూజ్ చేయాలి. ఎనీ అదర్ క్వశ్చన్?
Is this NSC is again new? We need to buy this license or it will come along?
Yes, it's a different product from VMware again. So yeah, if you would like to get those features, you need to purchase from them. You need to pay for license.
Hi Manjeer, Anna, when you say that when you install a VMware operating system,
Yes.
as a guest,
Yes.
so one who wants to, clients wants to run an application from Windows operating system. So how it the mechanism? It will run on VMware operating system, business application.
Yes, that's what we discussed here, Manju. Like a physical server with VMware ESX OS on top of that virtual computer. Inside that Windows will be there. Here you see.
Okay.
Windows is inside a virtual computer and application is installed here.
Okay, got it.
Oka virtual machine lo it's possible, basically dual boot is possible, but it is not recommended. Oka virtual machine lo oka OS e untundi, రెండు వాయిస్లు వేసినా యూజ్ లేదు, ఏదో ఒకటే రన్ అవుతుంది వన్ అట్ ఏ టైం. ఇప్పుడు ల్యాప్టాప్లో కూడా 2 వాయిస్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసుకోవచ్చు డ్యూయల్ బూట్, కానీ అట్ ఏ టైం ఒకటే కదా యూజ్ చేస్తాం సేమ్, బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ రికమెండెడ్. And there is no dependency like this. If you install Windows operating system on one computer, you can install Linux operating system on another computer. And if you power on this computer, you can keep power off. Like they are completely independent. So there is no relation between these two computers. They are completely two different computers. Okay. So there is no recommend. Here we have allocated 10 GB. Here we have assigned only 4 GB. So they are completely two different computers. They will be handled as two different computers. Number of processors. How many processors uses? Licensing is based on processor. How many processors? Here we have 2 processors. On a physical computer, it comes with 2 processors. So we have to buy license for 2 processors. It's not like you don't need to worry about it. We are not going to pay anything here. We are not going to purchase this product and all. The company, the organization who started that business, the company owners, like who established that company, they will buy licenses, and our part here is to install this ESX OS, create this virtual computer, power on, power off. Let's as you asked, if your performance is poor, how to increase memory. It's kind of administration we do. We don't need to spend anything from our pocket. Okay, so and we don't need to involve in any sales or nothing like that. If we are a technical administrator, if a company is already purchased this product, they need help from administrators like us to manage this infrastructure. Okay, to manage this product. So we know that product. We learn within this next 2 months. We learn this product completely, and we will say I can help you with that. That means like you go for interview process and all, right? So if they find real skills in you, like they will hire you to just manage this existing the purchased product. And you don't need to worry about it. Let's say for some reason you whatever you learn, it's not like 100% that you learn about that product, right? Something you stuck, you're not able to fix that problem. Okay, always there will be another level of engineers, senior engineers. The teams will be like L1 team, L2 team, L2, L2, L3. Okay, juniors, seniors, and senior to seniors. Okay, like that. If you're not, basically we belongs to level 2 in the middle. Okay, with the 3 to 4 or 5 years of experience, we'll say L2. If you're not able to fix, you can give the problem to the next level of seniors. Okay, for some reason you are the senior. Let's say L2 is the last final team in your organization. Okay, you don't need to worry about it. Official VMware websites are available. If you are facing some problem, let's say unable to power on virtual machine. If you just search like this, the first recommendation itself kb.vmware.com. Knowledge base. KB means knowledgebase.vmware.com. This is a website maintained by the VMware company itself who has developed this product. Right? The company itself maintaining this documentation very, very clearly. They will be written in such a way that whether you have to click left click or right click or bottom of the screen or top of the screen, left side or right side, very clear instructions will be there. I'll let you know how to use this KB later. Okay, during the advanced topics, I'll let you know. Okay, so you can check this website, and if you match this symptom, if symptom is matching with your exact problem in your day-to-day job, you apply this solution. Okay, and still, let's say for some reason you are not able to find a KB article, correct KB article, then you can call VMware, toll-free number. You can call from your mobile or your desk phone. It's free of cost because your client already purchased license from VMware. Support is free. Okay, you can call them and they will take control of your monitor and they will try to fix that problem. Okay, but silly things and all we will not be calling them. Okay, if it is a real valid issue and you are not able to find a solution, you can call them. And also when you don't find any KB articles, you can call. If you want to call them for silly things also you can call, but your management will feel that why you are not able to handle very basic things. Let's say you want to power on VM, it's not powering on. You can call VMware, they will help to fix. But your internal management, it's very silly thing why you are not able to do. That's our performance related, right? So like, understood? Okay, so in that way we are better like compared to any other development or something like Java. Let's say you are working for a client to develop new product. You are writing some Java program. If you don't know the logic for that day, if you call Java, they will not help you how to write that logic for that product. But VMware is helping us to fix this problem. It's an infrastructure product. Okay, at least compared to those products, at least you are better, right? You are on the better side. You have a helping hand from the vendor. I'm not against to them, but the real time scenarios are like that. Okay, situation is outside. Fine. Anything else?
What is the capacity of Xeon processor?
It depends. If you buy 1 gigahertz processor, it's 1 gigahertz capable only. 2 gigahertz, 2.4 gigahertz, depends. And number of cores and sockets. That topic only I said we will discuss later, how the processor will be split and how much capacity it can produce. That we will see later, how the processor will be splitted and how. Okay. Who was it? Chetan?
Yes.
We'll see that how the CPU will be splitted. Here I said like 2 processor, but we given 4 processor to this virtual computer. That splitting mechanism we will see later.
Okay.
Only for processor. Memory and hard disk, it's direct minus, no complex formula. Okay, direct minus. Clear? Okay, and that's good. Like when you're asking more questions, you will be able to learn something new or learn something more. Okay, compared to when you're keeping quiet, when you ask more questions. So continue the same momentum, keep asking more questions. We will try to learn better. Fine. Any other questions for today before we close?